The last Dyson vacuum I purchased was the V8, and wow, has the technology changed with the Dyson V15 Detect Submarine. If you have an old vacuum too and wondering if it's worth upgrading to the 3 different heads, let me walk you through how this one works. I bought the V15 because I moved into a new house and I needed an easy way to mop all the floors. And when I found out that the new vacuum also had a mop head and I was in the market for a new vacuum, it was a no-brainer. So let me show you how it works. Come on. So just like all Dysons, you hang it up on the wall and there's an area for different accessories, but I'm going to show you something because it was very confusing at first because my other Dyson, has a little stick. And this is how I usually have my Dyson V8 hanging up. But then the stick doesn't go on there. So it does hang up on the wall. You just have to have all the pieces together for it to work. This is where I keep all the accessories. This is the mop head, and it has a little thing so it doesn't get juicy. We have the duster, and then these are the accessories that came with it for me. I'm going to start off showing you how the vacuum works. My other vacuum has high and low. This is the same thing, Eco, Medium, and Boost. Boost uses the most battery, Eco uses the less. So while you're vacuuming, you're going to see the difference. The screen's going to change and tell you how much battery life you have left. Okay, I'm going to show you what the brushes look like down here. I've been using this for about 2 months now, and it still looks good. So it does have the anti-tangle comb. I actually haven't taken any hair out of here yet, which is amazing. And then it does have higher and lower floor. And instead of bending down if I'm going over something, like in my exercise room, I have a cushy mat. Instead of coming down here and making it where it goes up higher so it doesn't suck up the mat, I just put it on Eco, and so it doesn't suck as hard, and that allows me to keep vacuuming without having to bend down and change this. So then it just snaps together like all Dysons. Whenever you need to edge anything, just like all the Dysons, it comes off. This one, though, has where you can move it so it's flat, or you can put the little brush on. So now when it comes to dump it, it might be a little bit different from one of your Dysons if you have one. Where my old Dyson, I would just do this and could get it. This one you have to take everything off all the way to the cylinder. Are you in the video, Squeaky? Say, Mommy vacuums up all my cat hair. Now I'm going to show you how the fluffy optic head works. I call it the duster head. It's pretty cool because you can see all the dust. I mean, it's cool, but it's not cool because you can see all the dust, but it makes everything green. So I use this after I vacuum. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but I'm not going to vacuum up like big chunks with this. So let me show you how you put it on. It's just like the normal vacuum head. Take this off, snap this on. I'm going to turn off the light so you can really see the dust in action. Now, if it's in a darker hallway, the dust is a lot easier to see. You don't have to shut off the light to see it, but for the camera, I'm going to do that. But if I'm doing this in front of an open, sunny window, it's better to close the blinds or use the duster when the sun's not shining, when it's darker outside. That way you can see it, because you really can't see the dust if the sun's blaring in. Now I'm going to show you how the wet roller, the mop, works. I was confused when I was researching this, how if you put water in this, how the water didn't get up in the canister. So let me show you. This is closed off on the mop, so all the water and everything is staying in here, and there's a motor in here. So that's how you just pop this off, and all it is using the information, the technology up here, but all the water is staying down here. Okay, to fill this, you pull this out. Okay, so this is the wet roller head, this is where the juice goes, and this is where the dirty water goes. And then on this side, this is where the motor is, so you do not want to get this wet. You don't want to clean anything, you don't want to put this underwater, you just want to wipe this part down, and all of this can go into the water. So let me show you how it works. Now the directions say to only use cold water. In Dyson's video, they say you can, if you add something, make sure it's not bubbly. So I do half water, half vinegar. Screw the top back on, and then this roller has a big end and a little end. The little end goes on here. Then we there's a groove that this goes into right here. Make sure it slides in there. When you first start mopping, it's going to take around 15 seconds for the water to get the roller wet. So you don't want to keep moving in the beginning because you're not really mopping anything up. And I only use this to mop the floor. I don't use it to suck up juice like some of the commercials and some things that you see people use, so I don't have any experience with that. I would rather just take a paper towel, clean that up, and then mop the floor later because it takes a little bit of time to disassemble and clean this, and it takes the brush a little bit to dry. So let me show you how it works. Okay, now you can see the water's coming out of it. The whole time before that, it was just getting the roller wet. So on the back, it's showing that you're using water, and it's saying there's 70% battery left. There's only one speed, so you can't change it to Eco, Auto, Boost, any of that. Watch when I'm mopping. There's a motor in the mop head and it kind of pulls around. So it does take a little bit to get used to. It doesn't go exactly where you put it. And the one con I would say with this, it does fatigue your arm. The vacuum and the dust head don't. You're mopping plus you're moving the motor around, so you might have to take a break while you're doing it. It will give you a nice arm workout. Now I'm going to show you how to take apart and clean the mop head. And this is why I'm saying I would just use a paper towel instead of doing all this work just to clean up like spilt juice or something on the floor. So right here. Now I didn't mop that much for the review, so there's not going to be that much dirty water. And this is the part that I would just wipe down with a paper towel. To get hair or anything in it. Clean it up because we don't want to get the motor wet. Then this comes off, and this actually takes a couple days to dry. I have a fan over here that blows on it. So once you clean all of this up, I'm just going to wring it out. I wring it out, and then I leave it over here to dry. And then the dirty water will come out here. It's not really dirty because I didn't mop that much. So once I clean this up, I let everything air dry, and my house is around 1,400 square feet. And if I'm doing every single floor in the house, I'm gonna have to fill this up twice. I'm gonna use around 1 1/4 canisters of this. Most of the time I don't do all the floors, so filling this up once will work fine. So that's my review of how the Dyson V15 Detect Submarine works. I hope it answers your questions if you're thinking about upgrading, because I'm really glad that I did.